All right, well, thank you for attending this morning. As you would have seen yesterday with our announcement, we have made a decision to part ways with our Redbacks coach, Jamie Siddons. I wanted to start the press conference today by firstly thanking Jamie for his efforts over the last 5 years. During that time, we played in 2 Shield finals and 2 one-day finals. It would be fair to say, however, though, that the performance over the last couple of years of the Redbacks, where we finished last and we're currently sitting on the bottom of the table, has been very disappointing. Having said that, we had a long conversation with Jamie a couple of days ago, and it was a very amicable conversation, and we all agreed that the time was right for Jamie to move on in the interests of South Australian cricket, and hence the departure being announced. We also felt that why not wait until after the last game? We felt that was important if we made that decision, that we announced that decision. So then there was clarity for the playing group, and it enables us to get on with the task of recruiting a new head coach, a new Redbacks coach. Obviously there's been a lot of speculation in the paper as to who that coach might be, and there are obviously some very good candidates out there at the moment. I just want to be firstly absolutely clear that it would have been totally disrespectful, obviously, to have had any conversations with any potential coach. We haven't done that. We will go through a process. The role of Redbacks coach is probably one of the most important, if not the most important, positions within South Australian cricket. So we will announce the process in the next 24 to 48 hours, and that will be a very thorough process. But again, I just wanted to thank Jamie. He is a top-notch person, a top-notch coach. I have nothing but respect for Jamie, as do SACA. We wish him well for the future, and he has made a significant contribution to South Australian cricket, not only during the last 5 years, but throughout the course of his career, and he leaves with our blessings. And again, I just wanted to stress this was an amicable decision. It was one that was agreed by all. Thank you. I'll now take questions.
To clarify, Keith, it was you got SACA, you're the ones that decided the performance wasn't good enough, and then Jamie agreed with that, and then you parted ways. It was your decision as the SACA to move on from Jamie as the coach?
Yeah, we had a conversation with Jamie. Just want to wait a minute for that. Yeah, we always have a review at the end of the season, but we felt after the performance in the last Shield game, it was time to bring Jamie in and have a chat. And during the course of that conversation, we talked about a lot of things. We talked about positives, but we also talked about the disappointing finish to that Shield game, and I guess our performance this year and over the last 2 years. Now, and again, Jamie's done a fantastic job with players. We have a number of players that are in the national system now, Travis, Alex Carey and Zamps and others. That's been a real positive, but the performances on the field have been disappointing. So during the course of that conversation, we all agreed, and it was myself and Tim Nielsen and Jamie, that it was time to make a change. And as I said, the decision was amicable and agreed by all of us.
Initially, was Jamie, did he fight for his place there? Did he try and push his case with you guys, or did he see the writing on the wall in that meeting?
Jamie's, and I have high regard for Jamie. His care and concern was about the future of South Australian cricket, and he felt that it was probably time for a move, for someone different to come in with a different approach to take the Redbacks forward into the future. So all credit to Jamie that he was open and honest, disappointed with the performance of the team, proud of, I guess, what he has achieved with some of the playing group in terms of higher honours and appearance in Shield finals a few years ago, but also acknowledged that the performance in terms of on the field with the Redbacks for the last few seasons has been very disappointing.
Keith, how long do you expect the process will take to appoint a new coach? Is it a week's thing, or might take months? What do you think?
I would definitely say not months. We need to make an appointment. Pre-season starts soon. We have a contracting period that opens up in April, so we really want that coach to be on board and be part of that process in terms of the list management, identifying players. So he's obviously, or she is pivotal to that role. So that is why we'll go to market very soon. I think in terms of the possible candidates, there are obvious ones that are out there at the moment. So I wouldn't think it would take very long at all to have a short list and get some interviews and make an announcement on that regard.
And in terms of review, obviously Jamie goes. Will you look at the rest of the I guess, on-field performance, or will you just leave it as the status quo?
No, we do that every season as a matter of course, so we will have a particularly close look again this year, and as you quite rightly say, if we can get a coach on board in the very, very short term, he could be part of that process as well. But it's something we do every season, is a detailed review.
Do you foresee a lot of, or any changes to the playing list, any major changes to the playing list?
I think it would be fair to say that there are certainly some opportunities there to refresh our playing list. I think that happens every year. We have some movement, so there are certainly players that are coming out of contract. We've been in touch with other states to understand what players also are coming out of contract. So I think we need to look at establishing the best playing list that we possibly can. And the reality is that will involve looking at our current playing staff, but also looking at some players from interstate as well, and also through our Premier Cricket system.
Is there a hope that the Redbacks, with the change of coach and probably a change of a lot of players, is there a hope that you can be relevant and compete again as soon as next year, or is this something that you think will take time?
Of course there is. When Jamie first came on board 5 years ago, we went from, I think it was fifth, maybe even last on the Shield ladder, to playing in 2 consecutive Shield finals. So I'm very hopeful, and I feel positive that with the right, with a new coach, potentially with some new players on the list to supplement the talent that we have, there's no reason to think that we should finish out of the finals next season. So I think to go in with any other view would be silly. No, I feel very passionate about it. We want success. It's time we had success, and we'll do whatever we need to do to get there.
How's morale among the players at the moment, seeing as the coach is gone, quite a few players could be up to leave next. They've got another game to play next week. How are they coping with it all?
Look, I addressed the playing staff and the players. We had a meeting and Tim and I spoke to them all. There were conversations that were conducted also with some of the leaders of our playing group before the meeting with Jamie, because I just wanted to make sure that I could also reflect, I guess, how the players were feeling and what some of their thoughts were about the future. So those conversations did take place. They were very respectful. They have a lot of respect for Jamie. They understand the situation. This is an elite sport, and there are times when hard decisions need to be made, and they accept that. And that happens whether it's coaches or coaching staff or players. I guess it's part of the business of cricket, for want of a better word.
During the BBL, did you speak to Dizzy at all, just casual chats about what his future looked like?
Not with regard to the Redbacks, no, that would not have been appropriate at all.
So, he's clearly one that comes to mind easily, Keith. Is that a too lazy a link to make that Dizzy would take over both teams?
Look, there are a number of coaches out there that we'd be very hopeful that would apply for the position, and of course Dizzy, I hold Dizzy in highest regard, as I know many people here do in South Australia. Dizzy is a very successful international coach. He's done a great job with the strikers. He's known to us, so he would be an obvious choice to be obviously one of the lead candidates.
Bluey, is he auditioning for the role this week, or is he just the most senior man that was left to be in charge?
Well, Bluey coached the team obviously when Jamie was having his personal leave. He did a very good job. He, to his credit, jumped straight in and was available to coach the last game. I have not had a conversation with Bluey about a longer term proposition with the Redbacks, and again, that wouldn't have been appropriate while Jamie's been in the role anyway. So I guess at some point we'll have a chat to Bluey as well to see if he's interested in putting his name forward. But as I said, it will be a process. There will be an interview panel. We need to go through the right steps to make sure that the integrity of the process is in place.
With one game to go though, why did Jamie walk away now? Why not just stay on for the last game?
We talked about whether it was now or whether we made the announcement after the last game. We felt at the end of the meeting that let's do it now because it provides clarity to the playing group. If we know this, why not tell people? Why not move on? It also enables us to get into the market a little earlier for a head coach, because as I said, it's really important we get someone in place as soon as we possibly can with pre-season coming up, and also with the contracting period opening up in April. It would be very good to have that new coach as part of that process.
Is there any consideration to doing it a little earlier, Keith? Obviously, Jamie went through a few difficulties and required a bit of time away. Is it a possibility to happen a little earlier than it may have?
Well, obviously with Jamie being away, there was never going to be a conversation while he was away, and we were supporting him on that personal leave. He came back to work 100% fit for want of a better word, like any athlete, cleared to come back to work and 100% fit and threw himself into the job. Had some early success, which was great. We just felt that, given the performance of the last Shield game, that was the appropriate time to call Jamie in and have a chat about the future. And as I said, it was a very amicable conversation, and to Jamie's credit, he also agreed that he felt that it was in the best interest of South Australian cricket. And that's a big call to make from someone in the job. But it just shows
He had 1 year left.
he had 1 year to go next year, yes.